In the trail of the visiting the famous Short Goswami temple, we started our journey with Madan Mohan Mandir. The famous temple of Lord Madan Mohan was established by Srila Sanatna Gosvami, and it is the first of the 7 Goswami temple that is visited during the parikrama of Vrindavan. The temple was built on the spot where the celebrated deity of Madan Mohan was being worshipped by Srila Sanatna Goswami on top of the small hill known as Dwadashadiya Tila. The name Madan Mohan means he who attracts even Cupid, the god of love, whose name is also Madana. The temple of Madan Mohan was the first temple built in Vrindavan since the time of Vajranav Maharaj 5000 years earlier. King Vajranav, who was Lord Krishna's great grandson, had 16 important deities carved and established a number of important temples in Vrindavan, such as Madan Mohan, Govindji, Gopinathji, etc. Lord Madan Mohan was one of the 2 famous Gopala Murti established by Vajranava and was formerly known as Madana Gopala. The other Gopal Murti which was built at that time was Shakhi Gopal, who was previously known as Gopala, but his name was later changed to Shakshi Gopal after the pastime of his becoming a witness for his devotee. The deity later moved to a village near Puri in the state of Odisha. However, there is the deity of Lord Madan Mohan along with the deities of Govindji and Gopinath, originally established by Vajranava Maharaj in Vrindavan, represent the 3 eternal deities of all living entity. These threefold constitutional duties are known as Sambandh, Abhidheya and Prayojana. When Vajranava's mother Uttara first saw Lord Madan Mohan, she exclaimed that he perfectly resembled Krishna's lotus feet up to his navel. On seeing Govindji, Uttara said that this deity perfectly resembled Krishna's powerful chest, and upon seeing Lord Gopinath, Uttara said that the deity perfectly resembled Krishna's lotus face. Therefore, it is stated that Sambandha is the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, Abhidheya is his powerful chest, lotus heart, and Prayojana is his lotus face. Therefore, Madan Mohan represents the principle of Sambandha or the soul's relationship with Lord, Govindji represents Abhidheya or the regulated activities for reviving that relationship, and Gopinatha represents Prayojana or the ultimate goal of life. The deity of Madan Mohan was the first deity which was installed in Vrindavan, and all Gaudiya Vaishnavas are always advised to worship this deity in order to re-establish their long lost relationship with Supreme Lord. Lord Madan Mohan Gopala, the chief deity of Vrindavan, is the enjoyer of the Rasolila, Raso dance, and is directly the son of the king of Braja. The story of Lord Madan Mohan was something goes like this. When Sanatana Goswami first came to Vrindavan, he performed his bhajana on the hill known as Dadoshadiya Tila. Sometime later, when he obtained the deity of Madan Mohan, he began worshipping the deity at the same place, and it is said to have kept the deity in the crevice of the tree until a temple was eventually built. The first Seva Puja of Madan Mohan was believed to have been performed in the year 1534 on the basis of 2 handwritten records known as Sheba Pratyaksha and Isthablabha. There are a number of local legends how Sanatana Goswami actually obtained the deity of Madan Mohan, but they are not based on true fact. It is well known that some years earlier, Advaita Acharya had discovered the deity of Madan Mohan at Advaita Bhat. During that time, he performed his bhajana at that place. According to most of the scholars, the deity was original deity previously installed by Vajranava and named Madan Gopala. Sanatana Goswami got the Madan Gopala deity from Chobe. The generally accepted story of how Sanatana Goswami received the deity from Chobe is as follows. According to Bhakti Ratnakara, Sanatana Goswami was staying at Mahabana when he first saw the deity of Madan Gopala. He had noticed a very unusual cowherd boy with the most beautiful features playing with the other cowherd boys in the vicinity of Ramanareti near the bank of Jamuna. Sanatana was convinced that this boy was none other than Krishna playing as an ordinary village boy along with other boys from Mahabana village. When the unusual boy returned home after playing, Sanatana followed him to see where he lived. The boy entered a temple and Sanatana followed that boy, but once inside he found the place completely deserted, except for the deity of Madan Gopala standing there. Sanatana immediately bowed down before the deity and without uttering a word to anyone, in a deep mood of contemplation, he returned to his cave near Nandabhavan in Mahabana village. After this incident, when Sanatana went out to collect alms, he would always have darshana of Madan Gopal. Lord Chaitanya also had one darshan of the same deity when he visited Mahabana, and so did Lord Nityananda when he came to Mahaban on pilgrimage a few years earlier. The Bhakti Ratnakara mentions that Sanatana Goswami went every day to the temple of Madan Gopal for darshana. The temple was managed by Brahmana Chobe and his wife, who both lived on the temple premises. On one occasion, while visiting the temple, Sanatana felt somewhat shocked at the irrelevance being shown to the deity when he saw that Chobe's children were playing with the deity, and also the way in which Chobe's wife was serving the deity without following the strict rules of deity worship. Sanatana mildly reprimanded the Brahmana's wife, who was supposed to be looking after the worship of the deity. But she said she wanted to know why they are not following the specific rules governing temple worship. Chobe's wife admitted her fault and agreed to be more conscientious in the future. The same night, Sanatana had a dream in which Madanagopala appeared, and he said that he had been very happy playing with Chobe's children, but Sanatana, since he had asked the family to be more reverential in the deity worship, they had now introduced so many rules and regulations that he is no longer happy staying at Chobe's house, and instructed Sanatana to take him back to Vrindavan. The next day, feeling great remorse that deity was no longer feeling happy there, Sanatana returned to Chobe's house to apologize for his somewhat over exuberance in encouraging them to be more reverential in their deity worship. However, Chobe requested Sanatana to take the deity of Madan Gopala, as he had also received a dream in which the deity told him, "You already have so many children and Sanatana had none. Therefore, please hand me over to Sanatana." After hearing the words spoken by Chobe, Sanatana replied that he was a renounced order of life and subsided by begging alms. He was in no position to worship the deity in the proper way, and for this reason he could not accept Chobe's offer. That night Sanatana again received another dream in which Madan Gopal again appeared before him and once again asked Sanatana to take care of him, saying it would make him very happy. The deity further said that whatever simple thing Sanatana could offer, he would gladly accept it. After this dream, Sanatana agreed to take the deity from Chobe, and after bringing the deity to Vrindavana, he began to worship him on the top of Dwadashatiya Tila. Because of being in renounced order and subsisting simply on alms given to him while performing Madhukari, Sanatana's only offering to deity besides water and wild flowers were dry chapati, small flat rounded piece of unleavened wheat bread. One day, after having made an offering on dry chapati, Sanatana heard the deity asking for some salt to put on chapati. Sanatana replied by saying, "Just see, now you want salt, and tomorrow you will want sweets also. I am an old man, I have so many books to write, so please be satisfied with these dry chapatis." It so happened that on same day, a merchant hailing from Multan in Punjab named Ramdas Kapoor was ferrying salt and other goods by boat down the Jamuna river to the city of Agra, and while passing Dwadashadiya Tila, his boat got stuck on the sandbank in the middle of the river. In great anxiety and fearing his goods may be lost, the merchant came ashore in order to get help. Ramdasa could not see anyone except a young cowherd boy, very beautiful looking, sitting near the river bank. Some say the cowherd boy was actually Madan Mohan himself and was taking part in one of his pastimes for which he was very famous. Ramdasa asked the cowherd boy if there was anyone who could help him to free his boat, and the cowherd boy immediately informed him there was a sadhu performing bhajana and the nearby hill who might be able to help. Climbing the hill, Ramdasa humbly approached Sanatana and asked him to help free the boat. Sanatana said that as he was old and quite weak, he was not in any position to give much help, but advised Ramdas to go inside temple and seek help from the deity Madan Mohan, who was sitting nearby the tree. With full faith, Ramdas bowed down and offered heartfelt prayers to Lord Madan Mohan and very humbly requested his help in saving his boat. Suddenly, dark clouds filled with sky, and there was the deafening sound of thunder, and within moments torrential rainfall began to inundate the whole area. And within a short time, due to heavy downpour, the large deluge of rainwater began to swell the Jamuna river, and the merchant's boat became freed from the sandbank. Being overcome with joy, Ramadasa repeatedly offered his obeisances to Madan Mohan and profusely thanked Sanatan, asking what service he could perform in gratitude. Sanatan suggested he can now give little amount of salt for Madan Mohan, who was asking, and he could help in building a temple, and also requested for the pleasure of deity to keep on visiting him. It is said Ramdas eventually returned to Vrindavan and provided required fund needed to build the temple of Lord Madan Mohan. In the Bhajan Kutir of Sanatna Gosvami, in the same spot where the temple is there, behind that we could see the Bhajan Kutir, and in that Bhajan Kutir we could see that today also the relics of Sanatna Gosvami and his books, the Hari Bhakti Vilasa was there. We also could see that behind the Sanatna Goswami's Samadhi, which is a very reverential spot, there is a Granth Samadhi available. Sanatna Goswami Samadhi
is the Samadhi where in 1558 the sacred body of Srila Sanatna Gosvami was laid to rest. And Sanatana Goswami left his body on the occasion of Guru Purnima at Mansi Ganga near Govardhan Hill, where he was performing bhajana. His sacred body was brought in possession to Dadasha Tila in Vrindavan and entombed next to the beloved deity. Next to that, there is a Granth Samadhi. The word Granth means sacred books. This unusual Samadhi contains sacred books of the 6 Goswamis. It is believed that these books were of esoteric subjects concerning the very intimate pastime of Krishna with the gopis and written on palm leaves. It is said that because of the subject of these books was beyond the understanding of ordinary devotee, Jheva Goswami ordered them to be placed in a samadhi. This is believed to be the only Granth Samadhi existing anywhere in the world. We also saw Advaita Bata very nearby to that place, where Advaita Goswami originally got the Madan Mohan deity. And in the Sanatana Goswami temple, we also saw Krishna Kupa, where Krishna created the Kupa with his flute. We also understood from the local priest that in the same bhajan kutir, one priest came and he was looking for some gold coin which was ordered by when he prayed to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva told he should go to Jamuna bank and ask Sanatana Goswami for wealth. Sanatana Goswami gave him there is something called Parashpathar which has a Midas touch. If you touch that, it converts everything into gold. The Brahmana was overjoyed getting that deity, getting that gold, getting that Parashpathar. But he was later contemplating that why this was kept in the dustbin, which is of no use to Sanatana Goswami. So he asked Sanatana Goswami, what is the reason that this costly stone he has kept in dustbin? Sanatana Goswami told him that the only way you can know that you have to throw it in Jamuna first. The Brahmana threw it to Jamuna and came back after taking bath and asked him when Sanatana Goswami gave him Harinam initiation. And then he realized that Harinam is much more costlier than any Parashpathar. This story we heard, and it was told that it was happened in the Bhajan Kutir. However, some people told that it might have happened near Mansi Ganga as well. So Sanatana Goswami, Dadash Tila, and Sanatana Goswami Madan Mohan temple, his Bhajan Kutir was worth visiting, and some of the video and photo I am enclosing along with this narrative. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
As explained earlier, Advaita Bhat is just behind Sanatana Goswami Samadhi, and it is walking distance from the temple, Madan Mohan temple. And Advaita Bhat is the place where originally Madan Gopal deity was discovered by Advaita Acharya, and then it went to Chove, and the story I have told earlier. It is worth mentioning that when Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb attacked Vrindavan, many of the deities were moved out of Vrindavan and shifted to Jaipur. The original Madan Mohan deity is now being worshipped at Karali, and that's in near a place near Jaipur. And the deity what we saw in today's Madan Mohan temple is a Pratibhu Murti. Except Radha Raman, almost all deities have now moved to Jaipur.